So here we are in our car. This is a Ford Fiesta ST. This is going to be our vehicle for the day. So we'll get into the cockpit. I have the camera set up so hopefully you guys can see everything that I'm doing. I will constantly be checking it just to make sure. But we have our gear shifter here, our wheel, our clutch, our brake, and our gas. And as you can hear, it works in the game. Right now we're in neutral, so the car is not going to go anywhere when I hit the gas. So, I'm just basically going to go over what I had already previously said. So we're here parked on this street. I'm going to want to get the car moving. So, I'm going to put the clutch in. I would be on the brake, but right now we're on level land, so I don't have to worry about the car rolling back. I'm going to put the gear all the way to the left and up. That is first gear. You can see on the screen that at the bottom right, it has put me in first gear. Then, as I slowly release the clutch, I'm going to start giving it some gas. So, car starting to move. And now my left foot is fully out of the clutch and I'm just on the gas. Driving 14 miles per hour. First gear, each gear has its own range of miles per hour that you can go. It's not always, something that needs to be followed to the T. Sometimes, you can go a little bit above, but I like to do first gear 0 to 15, maybe 20, and then second gear starting at 20 up to 30, third gear 30 to 40, and so on and so forth. I've come to a stop at this stop sign. What I did to stop was, if you saw, I put my foot on the brake and put my foot in the clutch, took the car out of gear, and after that, I took my left foot out of the clutch because we're no longer in gear and just pressed on the brake and came to a stop. I'm going to go back and see if I can do a circle, and I'm going to run through the process one more time. So, at the stop sign, put on the right foot on the brake, left foot in the clutch, gear shifter in first, off of the brake, balancing act with our clutch and our gas, but I will wait for this person. Okay. And we are moving. And then, as I want to build up speed, I'm going to upshift. So, foot out of the gas, into the clutch, shift a gear, and then back onto the gas, and foot all the way out of the clutch. It's a process that you can say in your head over and over, but you're not going to really get it until you start doing it. And so I'm going to see if I can turn here. And then I'm going to come to a stop. So you can do foot in the clutch, and then on the brake, come to a stop, take your car out of gear, it's in neutral. You can take your foot out of the clutch. And you just learned how to get your car going in first and second gear. Yes! Yeah! Now I will show you how to reverse. Now reverse is a little bit easier. It's very similar to first gear. The only difference is that you don't have to let out of the clutch completely once you start moving. It's more of you're going to hold that biting point while giving some gas to get you moving. Because if you let the clutch out completely while you're in reverse, your car is going to shoot backwards at such a high speed. Now, when I say high speed, maybe 20 miles per hour, but it's going to start going backwards very fast. And that's not essentially what we want to do in reverse. So we are stopped in neutral, foot on the brake. If I want to reverse, I'm going to put my foot in the clutch, go into reverse. As I said in this simulation, it is down and all the way to the right. And you can see I'm in reverse now. So I can take my foot out of the brake, and as I lightly give gas, I'm going to release the clutch slowly, but not all the way. And now we're reversing. And to stop, just put your foot all the way back in the clutch and press on the brake and come to a stop. Take your car out of gear, foot out of the clutch. You've just reversed. So I'm going to show this process again. I'm gonna drive around and then reverse. So foot in the clutch, in gear, off of the brake, balancing act, and we're off. Upshift out of the gas into the clutch, change your gear, back onto the gas and out of the clutch, and you are now in second gear. And we can upshift again. It's the same process. Just remember where third is. It is back into neutral and then straight up from neutral. And that's third. Come to a stop, foot in the clutch, foot, and then press on the brake. Come to a stop, take it out of gear, and your foot is out of the clutch. All the way out. And I'm going to turn here, come to a stop, and always make sure you're in neutral before you take your foot out of that clutch, because the last thing you want to do is be stuck in traffic and for some reason, or stuck at a stop sign or a stoplight, and you accidentally take your foot out of the accidentally take your foot out of the clutch while in gear, and you stall, and then you have to restart your car as everybody's waiting behind you. Build up speed. You don't always have to upshift. Sometimes you can just let go of the throttle. You don't have to always be on the throttle. And now we're going to make our turn. Slow down. Come to a stop. Foot in the clutch. On the brake. Stop. Neutral. Foot out of the clutch. Beautiful. Let's go into reverse. Foot in the clutch. Reverse, then feather the throttle as you release the clutch just a little bit, back into the clutch, on the brake, out of gear, out of the clutch. You are driving a manual transmission car. Now, the last technique that I have to teach you guys is downshifting. Downshifting is a very important technique. And there are several ways to do it, but the easiest way is what I'm going to show you. There are more complicated ways. It's very similar to upshifting, except there's an extra step that is called rev matching. And what you're going to do is, as you notice as we drive and we upshift, our RPMs are going to drop every time we upshift, and I'll demonstrate that. So upshift and they drop. As we keep going, they're at 3,000, we upshift and they drop down to 2,000. But watch what happens to the RPMs when I downshift. That went up to 3,000. That went up to 4,000. Okay? So as you downshift, your RPMs jump up. As you upshift, your RPMs drop down. Rev matching is giving the throttle a little bit of a blip, is what they call it. Just pressing on it lightly, really quickly, and that is going to jump your RPMs up as your foot is in the clutch. So when you're in gear and your foot's in the clutch, it's basically the same as being in neutral, right? So in neutral here, we can rev our car. If we're foot in the clutch and we're in gear, we can rev our car, we don't go anywhere. Same process is happening when you downshift, so I'm going to demonstrate it at a stop. So say we're in fourth gear, foot is in the clutch, we're on the brake. If you want to downshift, your foot goes into the clutch, you go into third, and you blip the throttle while your foot is still in gear, and then you're going to release the clutch. I'm not going to do it because we're stopped, we're not moving, I would stall the car. So now I'll demonstrate it. I'll demonstrate it in motion. So we start going, upshift, upshift, and now I'm going to downshift. And see, I didn't rev match completely because the RPM still jumped up, right? So I'm going to turn around here and stop at a stop sign. We'll go again. See if I can rev match a little bit better. And rev matching is all about knowing your car, knowing how much of the gas you have to hit. So I'm going to bring it up to speed, and then I want to downshift. That was pretty good. It was pretty good. Never downshift into first. It's unnecessary. First gear is your starting gear. You're never going to want to go back to first unless you come to a complete stop. Alright. So let's try it again. Alright, let's downshift, foot in the clutch, drop a gear, flip the throttle, and I still went up. I didn't go up enough. But that's all the learning process of driving stick. So those are your absolute basics on how to drive stick. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like when you've gotten a little bit better at driving stick. Excuse me, sir. This man is destroying everything over here. And that's basically it. So that's the freedom of driving a manual transmission car. That has been my lesson. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you guys go out and try this in a safe environment. Empty parking lot is always a great place to start. Our next video, I'm going to take Janae out to an empty parking lot, and we are going to see how she does in a real car. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell so you can be notified when that video drops. And we hope to see you guys soon. Peace out.